An over-the-Rhine business is on track to become a very hot startup. On the Business Courier front page centerpiece this week, how to build a sound business, the story of Listener. Listener was founded in 2012 by Rodney Williams and Chris Ostich. It was born out of the idea that data could be sent between devices using sound. Early on, the company could only get smartphones to hear or receive data, not create it in a way that was secure enough to send sensitive data. Well, that changed after a hackathon in the summer of 2016. A team cracked the problem and developed a new app that used sound to unlock their office door. Now, Listener is using the same technology to introduce a new way to check out in stores, which could threaten the dominance of barcodes and technologies like Google Pay and Apple Pay.
Think of scan and go scenarios, or drive-through windows, or buy online and pick up scenarios. These are all scenarios where if you could start to remove the dependency on the hardware, use Listener as the payment transport product, it meets some of the demand for the new ways in which we're going to pay. Yeah.
Business Courier reporter Andy Brownfield wrote this story and joins us now with the other co-founder, Chris Ostich. Andy and Chris.
Thanks, Peg, and thanks for being here, Chris.
Happy to do it, thanks.
So Peg mentioned that the breakthrough happened when you guys created the Listener Door app. Why was that such a pivotal moment for you?
Well, I mean, we tend to be an organization that eats our own dog food. You know, we try to solve our own problems. The door was an issue for us, and frankly, in the history of the company, we'd always used a microphone to detect things. So if you've known anything about us in the beginning, it was all entertainment and sports engagement-related activities that were using the microphone to understand, was our technology present in this environment. And then we turned that around and said, could we actually create the technology locally and then put the broadcasting in the hands of consumers or fans or shoppers? And if I could transmit secure information as a person, what could I include in that transport? Well, ticketing, payment, all of these things have come to the surface since then.
Yeah, and how did that lead to payment, and why is that the focus of Listener now?
Well, scale, primarily. What we're seeing in the world today, particularly from the retail perspective, in 2012, Starbucks really changed the game. They said, hey, we're going to own our consumer shopping experience from end to end, from entry to payment. So if you go to Starbucks today and you use your loyalty and your payment all in one transaction, that's where more and more retailers are going. So what we're seeing are people moving away from things like the NFC-related payment protocols like Apple Pay and Google Pay, and also away from two-dimensional barcodes. And that's where Listener we're really in a sweet spot right now, where retailers that are looking to own that transaction from start to finish, we provide one of the most elegant solutions on the market to be able to do it.
Now, for a consumer, how would that look in store?
About the same. So it almost, it could either mimic the experience that happens today, and then in some sort of forward-thinking retailers, QSRs, they're actually building completely frictionless payment experiences. So just the idea that you're in the store or in the location, Listener is able to authenticate that you're there, and then seamlessly process a transaction without having to do anything. So just being in a space would allow you to actually complete a payment.
All right, and then real quick, what could be the future for this technology?
Well, we think that payment is obviously a global challenge. When we look at developing markets, I mean, this is a huge opportunity for us to make a huge impact. And outside of payment, there are other authentication measures that tap into other big markets. For us would be mobility. So I think the future of the company probably looks like a global standard for payment transmission, and then enabling these moments inside of other experiences in mobility.
All right, well, thanks for being here, and back to you, Peggy.
Data over sound. Thank you, Andy and Chris.